My name is Nelson Mandela. Amanda! You are Winnie Madikizela, the first black social worker they've ever hired, and you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Wow. I approached the character, the man, as just trying to understand who he is as a person. It's all in the book, but the script takes segments of the books. And it was sort of my job to sort of try and interpretate that into a human person, into someone real. And I tried to understand what his, how he made people feel. That was an important sort of aspect of recreating him. So I would ask questions of people that met him, how they made him feel. What was the last thing he said? What was the first thing he said, just to understand what that was like. If I was given the role after Mr. Mandela was passed, I think the approach would be the same.
This is your final warning!
They're not breaking any laws.
Knowing he was behind the project and it had his blessing, but also I was free to make it in a way that, showed that he was a young person like any other young person who had flaws and made mistakes, and that we had complete freedom in the aspects of the storytelling. But to know he was always there was a constant reassurance for us. It gave us great. It gave the project a way of being made that could actually go into communities that knew we had Mandela behind it, who had all the family behind it, had the comrades behind it, the Mandela Foundation, but also that did it in a way that showed all aspects. And we don't shy away from any of the controversy. So, yeah, it was a great reassuring presence for us having Mandela alive. I mean, I was cutting it 10 days before he passed. I just literally finished the movie. And then he passed. So I'd always had him there, knowing what we were doing and knowing what I was doing.
If the blacks take over, our country is finished.
What is it that you personally want?
I have beautiful children, a beautiful wife. I want them to walk free in their own land.
The situation on the streets is out of control.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of the other performances at all, and I haven't, and I probably won't. Not out of any disrespect for those actors, they're great, but I just didn't want to do an impersonation of Mandela, and I didn't want to do an impersonation of any other actor. This is sort of my interpretation.
I was humbled and honoured to be asked, but I also knew that I had to make sure that we were given freedom to be able to. I wasn't going to shy away from any of the controversy, and I wanted it to be we have this expression in the UK. I didn't want it to be like a spinach-eating film. You know it's good for you. You should go and watch it. But this had to be an epic. It had to have action sequences. It had to be true. It had to be exciting. But it also had to be real, and it had to show all sides of Mandela. So. It had to stand up there with those Hollywood movies, as a cinematic experience.
Nelson Mandela, do you plead guilty or not guilty?
My lord, it is not I, but the government that should plead guilty.
You will never leave you will never touch a woman or a child again. It's a pity they didn't hang you. I'm going to make sure you wish they had.
It's a journey I've made on purpose. I want to be an actor that has done as many different types of roles as possible. That's what excites me. I want to be challenged. So yeah, I think that's sort of accidentally on purpose to sort of have all these different roles.
Yeah, he was my first choice. And it's an independent movie, so the producers were thinking that we were going to go for a huge, big Hollywood star. And for me, it was always important to get the right man for that role.
Freedom. It is an ideal for which I am prepared to die. Shall we begin?